Hi guys, welcome to our Animation Resources live stream. This one is another RefPack review. I'm Davey Gerald, I'm a storyboard artist in TV animation, and I serve as the Director of Programming at Animation Resources. And I've got a guest with me today. He's the Director of Publications at Animation Resources and runs the tech for our live streams. David Eisman.
Hi.
Hi David, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Of course. So today we're going to be going over our current members-only reference pack, but first I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit about what Animation Resources is. So Animation Resources is a 501c3 nonprofit that specializes in art curation. We preserve art from the past so it can be used to inform art of the future. And we provide context for everything we share, the history behind it, information about the artists who created it, and how the ideas can be applied to your own work. If you're not already, I highly encourage you to become a member of Animation Resources. Paying members get access to a new reference pack every other month. Reference packs include rare animated films and ebooks, filled with cartooning and illustration, all work you'd probably never otherwise see. You can sign up right now at animationresources.org/membership. One more time, that's animationresources.org/membership. So one quick announcement. You have from now until early June to access our current members-only reference pack. As you'll see, you really don't want to miss this one. We have an ebook featuring more artwork by Hokusai Manga, 3 MGM cartoons from the early 1940s, as well as 2 German cartoons from the early 40s, another episode of the 1970s Russian animated series, Well, Just You Wait, and another episode of the 70s Polish animated series, Dog, Cat, and ... Also 2 episodes from the 1960s Japanese animated series, Goku no Doboken, a video about 18th century sculptor Antonio Canova, a breakdown of crowd shots in animation by David Eisman, and we just updated our bonus archive. So we're going to be doing this one a little differently than usual. A lot of people still ask how to access the files from the website. So instead of showing images and clips from the ref pack, this time I'm going to share my screen so you can watch me go to the website and download the reference pack. So you'll be able to see firsthand what it's like to be a member and to access all of this great material. So I'm here at the website, animationresources.org/members only. And as you can see here, I'm logged in. So you want to go to this site, log in, and then we're on the page where you can download our current reference pack. And this one is number 57. So here we got Hokusai Manga's volume 3. This is the 3rd time that we're sharing a volume from his sketchbook. So you can see here, there's this article that provides context. So you can download the article. I right-click on it. And here's the article. You can zoom in, zoom out. I'm going to right-click again and save image. RefPack057 featured. So the downloads. And right here, we've downloaded the article. God, this work is incredible.
I know. Hokusai is amazing. He just has such mastery over life drawing.
These observational sketches, they're perfect.
Mm-hmm. I love that stretching on the legs of the guy on the right. He's playing with surrealism.
Yeah, here.
Mm-hmm.
You can zoom in. It's all very high quality. That's very interesting.
Wow.
And these...
it's like a pig face. So it's not just life drawing he is doing from imagination.
Yeah, this is an incredible mastery of anatomy, though.
Yes, very much so.
All right, moving on to the next section, the MGM cartoons from the early '40s. Yeah, these are not cartoons I'd ever seen.
I always love finding cartoons that are rare. Like you watch all the ones that are on the DVD, Blu-rays, and stuff, but getting those rare ones is really a treat because sometimes there's some really wacky animation.
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder, like how they choose which ones go on the DVDs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Which
It's
ones deserve to get preserved?
the ones that a handful of historians have deemed the most worthy. So here's how you can download them. Right click, and then I'm gonna pause it so you can click these three little dots and hit download. And you can download all three at once. And then while that's downloading, let's watch a second of this.
Hmm. That was a big film
Armin.
tear. The bookworm turns. There's like a cart. There's a Mickey Mouse short called "The Worm Turns." That's interesting. I wonder if the names are related. Great walk cycle.
Yeah. It's really hard to animate slowly like that.
I know.
It
Well, you have
requires
to.
so much precise drawing.
It's also like the fact that you have to consider that they can't just do the same movement slow. Like you have to add in that extra movement where he's curling those toes, to create like an extra beat in the sentence. Otherwise, it's just
Yeah.
like it feels awkward.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Nice.
Oh, I love that toe animation.
That was great. Still
It's
going.
great.
Still going. Wow. That's very impressive. I wish I'd used this for my hand articulation article.
I know. This is so hard to figure out how to do that.
There's some clever distortion going on with the anatomy of the feet. As he picks things up, distorts around the object. There's some old-fashioned distortion.
Yeah. Nice.
Hmm.
All right, let's take a peek at the next one. I'll just go to a random part.
Nice, cool blue color palette. Although I wonder how much of that is like a result of just like film degradation. Like how much, like what do the colors actually look like?
It's probably partly that.
Because it does look a little washed out. I love that eye style animation joke. They do it in Looney Tunes all the time. There's that great one where Elmer Fudd gets hit on the head and his eyes go like ding, ding, ding.
Oh, and
ding,
his eyes do that thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks like he got really tiny for a moment.
Mm-hmm. That would look a little off model.
But that's what's fun about these.
It's great.
So what's also really cool, you go to your downloads. They're here, and you can step frame through them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at this right here.
Wow. Ones. It's on ones.
Yeah. Yeah, this must play really smooth.
Whoa. Nice subtle wave manipulation.
This is really cool. Be able to, step frame through a
It's one of the
rare
best ways to look at animation to
a
see how
rare
they did it.
1940s cartoon. Let's see. I want to
Great
watch.
body turn.
I know. Oh yeah,
Oh
it's really
wow.
smooth. No wonder that's on ones.
Yeah.
This is great.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like Christmas morning. Every other month at Animation Resources.
Exactly.
So next we got we've got this German cartoon from we've got two German cartoons from the early 40s. It's a very interesting style. Gonna download the article. Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm. That must have been hard to track in motion.
Yeah. Yeah, all those points going in different directions. It's got
And
to be
it's
a
hard,
pain to
yeah.
make friends with that.
Especially the perspective shift and how you get it to look solid and not just laid flat against the armor.
Yeah, it's a lot to track. So let's open these up. So while those are downloading, let's take a look.
Oh wow, that's a very large picture.
It's all flat. They weren't doing multiplane.
Yeah.
So used to seeing multiplane pans, it looks odd.
It does look odd. Well, there's no planar distortion. Like nothing's moving. It just
Yeah.
looks like they're just scrolling on an image. Ooh, that was a very nice stagger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did a whole lesson on
That was one
stagger.
of my earlier articles on the stagger.
This is interesting. It's a lot of very even timing.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't fully embraced the
Slow in, slow out.
Western animation principles yet.
There was no wave principle on that wing flight, but I guess it's like that's kind of a shortcut, the up and down. It was just that
Yeah.
was just two frames looped, one down wing, one up wing.
So it's all very smooth, but it doesn't have a lot of snap
Weight to it, yeah, weight or snap.
But I like the drawings still. Let's see what this one looks like. Ooh, yeah. This is beautiful.
Wow, that's very subtle effects animation.
These colors are really nice. Interesting motion.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that looks weird. Just it looks almost fake 3D.
I know. I know. I kind of want to read about that. Let's see. Live action filmed.
Oh, is this Roto?
Yeah. Featuring characters. The result was a failure.
Oh,
Yeah, it was moving very odd.
it looked like Roto.
Yeah. Sometimes we can learn as much from bad examples as good ones. It needs to be certain. Yeah. It was both strangely animated and also just thematically out of touch.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's why it's good to have these write-ups too. Download the articles so you can read about what went into it. Because I like the look of like it's very nice looking. It just was moving so odd.
So
So
the
now
Polish cartoon, no, Russian cartoons.
Russian
Yeah,
cartoons.
Russian cartoons.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of these. Well, just you wait.
Hmm. Always great style, tons of enthusiasm.
It's just great, cartoony, fun. Let's download that. Yeah, I love these.
Oh, great water.
Oh, can kind of see through it.
Hmm.
It's a fun walk. Coming
Very
towards the
fun.
camera, that's tough.
Very difficult. And he's moving his head left to right.
This is a good dynamic pose.
Hmm. I feel like in a different cartoon, he would have stayed in that position on the floor
Yeah.
a bit longer.
This is just so similar to like American MGM or Warner Brothers.
Mm.
Doing a good job imitating it. Nice.
Very good resistance. It's hard to do subtle animation like that.
So now,
Here's
now
the Polish one.
cartoon. These are my favorite drawings. This is they're just they're so funny to look at.
Hmm. Great character designs.
The overlapping eyes. I've never seen that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, these are just so loose and fun. Let's watch a second of this. Kind of UPA influenced backgrounds.
yes, very UPA. Very nice.
I like how this is all one shot. Sometimes things just play funnier when it's all done in a wide.
Yes, not as much cutting. Modern animation isn't like that now. It's all the traditional cut on action stuff.
Yeah.
Unless it's a sitcom.
Oh, that's a fun character design.
Very fun.
Let's
Always
see.
love a good spider.
Such a pure cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Tons of good fun. Great anticipation.
Oh, it was a cool run. That's got to be difficult. See, that's something I'd want to step
Yeah.
through.
Well, you can just download
Yep.
the article.
So now we got our anime. It's a lot of stuff to download this time. It's great.
Yeah, this is tons.
This will, you've got another probably like 3 weeks to download this. But, go through it at your own pace. It takes me a long time to like thoroughly go through everything.
Absolutely. You can't just watch it. You have to study it, take observations and notes. I love old anime. No, most people that watch modern anime don't even know this style existed.
No, because it doesn't really resemble what modern anime at all. They were just always experimenting.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a ton of influence from Western cartoons, but their own style too, own sensibilities. Wow, that was an amazing pan.
That was cool. This is all really well. They probably went out all out for the theme song.
Yeah, for the theme song, absolutely. But like that's the way that was spaced and timed, the way he was shoveling the dirt would have been done very differently in like a traditional Western cartoon.
Yeah, this is a lot of planning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long intro.
It's very long. This is like a minute.
Yeah.
Modern anime intros are very long, but it's like 3 still images and some sad music. This is constant
This
movement.
is the opposite. This is tons of animation and simpler drawings. Not that simple though. Wow, that was quite a theme song.
Wild.
Nice. Just experimenting with so many different styles.
Oh, are they gonna do a manual truck? No, multi-stage zoom.
Now they're frozen.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's where they save the money.
Yep. It's all in the intro. These are great drawings, though. And yeah, now we've got let's download this article about the sculptor.
Always love sculpture.
Let's look at some of these.
The wrestlers, legendary sculpture, very well known.
Nice.
Very Hellenistic inspired, with a bit of classical in the face. That's a straight up Venus de Milo. Head bigger than it would have been in Hellenistic Greece. They always made the head smaller.
Yeah, this is your area of study, isn't it?
This was my area of study.
It's like, how do you know this? Oh yeah.
They'd make the head smaller because when you have a statue that big, it would make it look better, even though anatomically the heads were too small. When you have the head normal size, it looks weird.
This is normal sized, right?
This is a normal sized head, according to her.
So it's big comparatively because it's normal
Mm-hmm.
sized. Okay. Yeah, because this all looks really in proportion.
Mm-hmm. But the head looks out of proportion, but it's actually in proportion. It's just this weird visual thing
that we're used to seeing smaller heads on statues.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. Oh yeah,
Ooh, excellent.
that's like a statue equivalent of a drawing that wasn't cleaned up.
Yes, it's
There's
very
so
rough,
much,
blocked out.
yeah, so much life and energy in this. Very nice. Oh, that's super famous.
Yup. Perseus cutting the head off Medusa.
So this is a
Ooh, an hour and a half long documentary.
yeah. Well, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see all the close-ups.
The interesting thing is, in antiquity, all these statues would have been painted.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I hate how they did an exhibit in the Met and some other places called like Gods in Color, where they painted like recreations of the statues according to
Mhm.
how they thought they would have looked, and it looks horrible.
Oh,
Like
really?
there's no way that they were incredible sculptors and like garbage painters. You just had this. This cannot be true. It's so garish.
I can imagine. It took me a while to learn uh, color theory and different coloring techniques, and I, for the longest time, felt like anytime I added color to my drawings, I just ruined them. It was
Yeah,
like two different people worked on it, you know?
for sure.
So here's your crowd shots. So
Yes,
definitely
my
gonna
article.
download this article.
Okay, so this article is on crowd shots, which has been one that I've been meaning to write about for a while. I'm just gonna play through it in full, um, and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Ants.
They're humans.
Yeah, it's just you've picked like crowd shots that have loops.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one.
Okay. So those were all the examples. A lot of what I talked about is like deciding when to put in the most effort and when to be cheap and when to cut corners.
Okay.
Loops are your friends in crowd shots. You want to loop everything,
Yeah.
but the length of your loops is determined on where you're confident the audience's eye is going to go. So there's certain places where the audience's eye is more likely to be, and that's usually in the foreground, and that's usually in the background, and sometimes the middle ground, depending on how you structure your scene. But the very edges of the frame and the way background, the audience is not really going to look at. So look at the difference in how elaborate and long the loops are here, where the audience's eye is immediately going to go, compared to here, where the audience is very unlikely to look at in this very short scene.
Interesting.
This loop is much more elaborate than this, which is only about 8 drawings. This is more like closer to 20.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Um, and then you have the option of, okay, I don't want to do that. I want everything to be elaborate. I want the whole scene to be elaborate. And then you have another option. You can do what they do here and create an individual characters with radically different character designs, but then you have to limit the number of characters in your crowd. But then you can do what they did here in Cubby Bear, where everyone is the same character. And that way, you don't actually need to animate as much movement as you think. This is actually a very simple loop. If you look for like the key like frames, like the way you recognize a loop is you look for one part of the image and you wait for it to repeat. Like this isn't actually that long of a loop. It's just the sheer number of characters allows you to get away with like an 8-frame loop that looks like it's going on forever.
So it's only a few drawings, really.
This is only actually a few drawings. You're just tricked into thinking it's way more.
Nice.
With this one, this is more in line with here, but here there's like 2 or 3 different character designs. These are all the same, which allows them to do some much more crazy movements. But the same thing still applies, where like this character here who's swinging the balloon back and forth, their loop is a lot shorter than here. See how their movement is just constantly repeating very quickly, but here is a lot more complicated. Alongside here, you have to think about it. Where's the audience going to look, and where am I going to spend all my time? Another shortcut you can do is tricking the audience. So in here, you have how many visible heads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the foreground, and then you separate this frame. You create the foreground, you create the background, and then you create this midground crowd. And this midground crowd is just a series of squiggles. Like it's a series of squiggles that's trying to suggest the existence of a crowd. But because of this foreground actual people heads, you don't really think about it because the scene is so short.
Yeah.
This is just an amazing one. This one's just like, because everything is in center ground, almost all of these loops are exactly the same length. And then you've got, they're also so different and they're doing such crazy things, but it is all loops. And then this last one is from is a Yuri Norstein. So this is paper cut animation. I really liked this one because this is not a loop. This is straight ahead action the entire way through. But the only thing I mentioned was that in crowds, you can put things in the foreground like fog or clouds to obscure the action if you don't want to do as much work. The one thing I said at the end was that I'm not sure what Yuri Norstein's intention was for this scene, but if I had designed the scene, I would have wanted it to seem like dancers were coming in and out of the clouds, like there's just an infinite number of dancers. And I really only feel like this scene accomplished this here, when dancers start to fade in and this dancer starts to fade out. So he could have created, I don't think this is I don't know what his intention was, but if his intention was to create a really big crowd scene, masking it with this fog, it could have been really nice and cheaper to bring in dancers as he moved out other dancers, because then you can just repeat dancers, because it's unlikely that the audience is going to notice them twice in a row. Yeah. And that's the article.
All right, thank you, David. Here's where you can download them. Make sure you do that because you want to step frame through them, right?
Yes, very important to step frame through them, not just watch them in normal speed.
Yeah. And we just last week updated our bonus archive, so we get
one of the crowd scenes from my article is from Momotaro's Secret Sailors, the black and white one with the animals doing the prison thing.
Okay, cool. So we got that, and we've got a John Sutherland film.
Rhapsody
probably
of Steel.
Going to be some industrial workplace.
It was a really good one. I had to watch it for the best of 50.
Okay. Well, I guess it's just those two.
Podcast, Acting for Animation.
Yeah, and then podcasts, you can, these are all old, but they're still there, available for download. But the bonus archive to download, you right-click on that, brings you to this page, and here's where you can download them.
Incredibly violent film, Momotaro's Secret Sailors. Incredibly violent.
You've been warned. So that's an hour 14.
But there's a great scene at the end where Momotaro and his buddies kill all the American cartoons. Like Popeye shows up, they like gun him down.
So that's our current reference pack. Sign up now. You can download all of that. It's reference pack number 57 and the bonus archive. You have until early June. Well, thank you so much for joining me, David, and thanks for making this run smoothly, as always.
Thank you so much.
And also thank you to everyone who's watching, and a huge special thanks to all of our members. Without you, none of this would be possible. And don't forget, if you're not already, I highly recommend becoming a member of Animation Resources. With the bi-monthly reference packs curated by our board, the bonus archive, and the podcast, you'll have a great start at building a personal library of reference material that will serve you for your entire artistic career. And it's a huge bargain. It's $70 per year if you're a student or educator, and $95 per year for the general membership. You can sign up right now at animationresources.org/membership. One more time, that's animationresources.org/membership.